666.
If you haven't done it yet, slam that like or subscribe button for us. It really helps us out. All right, Richard, let's rock. What's your one big thing this week?
All right. I don't even know if I did it last week, but if I didn't, I should have. The one big thing for everybody should be Dakar Rally. Dakar Rally. I don't know if you've seen any of it. I was watching a little bit last night on some, I don't know, channel way up. It's just insanely awesome. And the footage is amazing because they have helicopters, they have drones, you have angles on these vehicles. But anyway, so this is two of the things I get very excited about. One is the Dakar Rally, the other is hydrogen. So here we go. So the Dakar Rally started this Saturday, January 1st. It's the 44th Dakar Rally, which, if you may or may not know, is a 2-week-long endurance race. And in this case, it's broken up into 12 stages covering over 5,000 miles. This is all in Saudi Arabia. Over 1,000 participants, and we're talking bikes, quads, cars, and trucks. Some of these things are amazing. 209 rookies, 130 legends, and legends are people who are drivers who have been in 10 or more rallies. 34 are what's called original by Motul. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And these are riders without a support team, so these are just people showing up without a support team and trying to make it through 5,000 miles of incredible terrain. 60 women, and there's another 315 drivers and co-drivers that do the Dakar Classic, so classic car and classic truck. So it's like Mad Max. It's just crazy. All these vehicles careening across the desert. And added to that, one of the things in this year's rally is the first hydrogen-powered truck, which is, and the picture will go up on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Incredibly cool-looking six-wheeler that sort of looks like a converted Sprinter van on steroids. That doesn't really quite capture it, but it looks awesome. And when you see the trucks going through the desert, they're especially awesome because they're just huge. But as with everything with Saudi Arabia, which is kind of interesting, there's a tie-in here. So this truck is a demonstration truck. They're just going 12 miles on initial stage. But it's done by a French automotive startup called Gaussin. And it's sponsored by Saudi Aramco, and it's the H2 racing truck. And the interesting thing is this past December, Aramco and Gaussin signed an agreement to establish a manufacturing facility for on-road and off-road hydrogen-powered vehicles in Saudi Arabia. And as a first step, Gaussin and Aramco will study the feasibility of a manufacturing facility and a hydrogen distribution business to serve the Middle East region. Eventually, they want to make hydrogen-powered trucks. So this is sort of, Aramco's branded Gaussin H2, truck, flying through the desert. Extremely cool. So this extremely awesome hydrogen-powered prototype may be coming to a street near you if you live in Saudi Arabia.
And like you mentioned, we're going to have this, some of the images of this thing on for our YouTube watchers, but it sort of looks like the sandcrawler from the original Star Wars, like the big box that just crawls along the sand. Very appropriate. Gaussin is a really interesting company as well. Tech company actually founded in 1880 that assembles and offers zero-emission, smart, and connected vehicles for freight transportation and people mobility based in France. The French are all about Dakar Rally. I mean, they were the original Dakar. The original Dakar was from France to Morocco. Do I have that right?
Dakar, Senegal.
Yeah, Senegal. Okay, yeah, sorry.
So can you imagine? And that's one of the interesting things about Saudi Arabia on this one. So it moved, the rally moved from South America to Saudi Arabia primarily for safety reasons, because there are too many incidences in South America when people out on some extended remote stage were being hijacked. So they can do this in Saudi Arabia safely, but it's been constrained to Saudi Arabia because of the pandemic. And it'll be interesting once we get past this if they start moving it out and including maybe some stuff in Oman and Qatar, maybe not Qatar, but the Emirates. But so it's just like the original Paris to Dakar rally, that went across state lines or country lines. So it might be interesting if that spreads out. But as it is, I mean, Saudi Arabia has plenty of amazing terrain and varied terrain to make it just fascinating. It's must-see TV. You got to watch this.
It's really cool. And we featured where to find it on our website, sustg.com. I believe it's an NBC Sports offering in the United States. I hope I have that correct. I should also note that, speaking of France, they are investigating an explosion that happened in one of their support trucks, I think.
Prior to the start of the race, right?
Prior to the start of the race, yes. Yeah. There was one seriously injured who was airlifted back to France. So hope he is okay.
Absolutely.
But yeah, the Dakar is awesome and is fascinating, and you should definitely check it out. You can see a lot of the coverage of it on YouTube as well, which is where I've been watching it. So,
and we've been in the daily review for Sustig, we've been including something. Today there was a collection with some great images.
Those were so awesome. Check those out on our daily email newsletter, because they those blew me away this morning when I saw them. So
that was a good collection.
Yeah.
I was, by the way, as I digress, I was looking at some video, and I realized it was one of the drivers was upset because he was fined for speeding, and I guess there's certain zones where you have to maintain a lower speed because it's a choke point or whatever. And it was the zone speed limit was 30 kilometers per hour, and he's clock coming through at 107 kilometers per hour. He was upset about it.
And Sahara caught him and sent him an immediate ticket.
Saw her in the desert. There was some other video. My goodness, we're getting way off track. Another driver. So what happens is the bikers go out first. They're trying to do them in stages. So they have bikers, quads, cars, trucks, especially vehicles. Bikers usually go out first, which is good for the quads and the cars coming after it because you have a path to follow. But there was some video the other day where there was a biker that had wrecked, and he was sort of right on a narrow path through a rocky sort of passage. And this quad was trying to come through, and you could see it. He actually bumped this biker who was on the side of the road off his bike, knocked him all the way off his bike, and then sort of started to run him over and then stopped, and then pulled out and went around. And the story is that the driver was saying, oh, he just waved me on. You know, I checked to see he was all right. And the biker, you can see in the thing, he was not waving him on. He was like, you know, I'm sure there were some choice words said. It wasn't, hey, thanks, no problem, carry on. It was like, what the are you doing?
But, well, Richard, this podcast is like the Dakar Rally in that we don't have a track to stay on. We just have an end destination.
I'm wandering in the desert at the moment.
Fascinating stuff. Yeah, check it out. I guess it concludes. Is it the end of this week that it concludes, or is
2
it
weeks? Started on the 1st. I think it'll go through the 12th. So basically, and that's good. You know, you should see it because I think they finished stage 5. Maybe do stage 6 today. So they're doing 12 stages. They'll take one day off. So you can see 6. There's opportunity to see 6 more stages. And again, it's well worth it.